What is going on, guys? I have a lot of explaining to you guys about this car right over here. So guess what? We're not parting it out. I know that on OfferUp, on Instagram, on Facebook, on Snapchat, and whatever other social media there is, I posted up my RX-7 4-part out, everything besides the motor, and I'm talking everything besides down to the subframes. But the car's still here, the car's still all together. I can drive it out of here if I wanted to. Nothing sold. The main reason why nothing sold was because a majority of you guys that were hitting me up to buy parts off of this thing wanted me to ship you guys the parts to like New Zealand or Indiana, and not small parts. They wanted like the gas tank. That's a big part to ship all the way over there. And yeah, like I said, everyone who wanted parts, a majority of you guys were from far. So that kind of wasn't realistic for me. If I was gonna part it out, I wanted it to be cash in my hand, come and pick up the part yourself. But like I said, that's not really what was going on. So I decided, and I asked all of you guys, you guys told me to keep the car. A lot of my coworkers were convincing me to keep the car. A lot of my friends were telling me to keep the car. So because of what we were having to deal with all the people trying to buy things, since the car is still complete, I decided to keep the car and just continue on to where we left off, as far as making it look pretty, making it run cool, and drive the shit out of it. So I guess I'm pretty sure that's enough explanation for you guys about the whole confusion about me parting out and then me keeping it. So I am keeping it now. I changed my mind. I'm keeping the car. So that being said, let's get on with today's video. So don't get me wrong, this thing looks pretty good at this height. It's a good functional level where it looks good and it drives good. But I know I can get this thing to still be driving good with it being dumped. So we're gonna go ahead and get it as low as we can to where the BN skirts are barely touching the ground. And I'm not too worried about it because the BN kit on this car is really aggressive. So if I ever take off the kit, the car is not really that low. So let's get to slamming her down to the floor. So this is the top of the frame rail or whatever here, and under load, when the car is sitting on its own weight, it has about that much gap. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get it to where the wheel literally sits on this, right? And a lot of you guys might be saying, Chris, that is a stupid ass idea, because if it's just sitting there and it's touching, how much more when you're actually in drift with all the load? Well, let me show you guys this wheel. It's a big ass tire. It's a 235 4018. If all goes right, I plan on running a 17 up front with a 215 40, or a 17 with a small tire, or if I do end up getting an 18 up front, I'll have a skinny tire. So if it touches it with this tire, and it's sitting on it with the skinny tire, we'll have that gap back again. Whether or not I'm going to keep it this low, actually I don't know. I just want to see the car be this low for a little bit, and if it's too low, we're just going to lift it back up. But in the meantime, let's drop this thing. Like every other coilovers, you loosen the locking nut to the housing, to the thing here, and you just twist the whole body down into this. That way you don't mess with your preload, and you're just messing with where the mount, or your spindle I should say, mounts onto the body. I don't really know how to explain this, but make sure you're not adjusting the preload, you're just moving the body of the shock into this thing right there. I like to just set this in here and then get a mallet here. Let's see if I can do this with one hand and just break it loose. Oh god. Yeah, I've been really tightening these because lately they've been getting loose on me. So I tightened it with a mallet, but there you go, nice and free. When a lot of people adjust their height, they like to just spin this, measure that gap, and then do the same gap on the other side. What I like to do is when I loosen it, so this is just for lowering, break it loose, and I count how many times this does a full rotation. And then I repeat that on the other side. For me, that's more balanced with keeping left and right the same instead of measurements. So everyone has their own way. This is my way. Let's get to it. We got it all back together. This side's lowered about 10 turns. I'll measure that later on. But something you can see is a little different here. I cut out the little tub things because I was actually rubbing on it like around this area. So I tried hammering it out at first, then I looked it out over here, then it looked all crinkled and it looked disgusting to me. So I ended up cutting out this entire section here, and it's fine because I left this section and a little bit of this corner here. So this is still has a lot of strength to it. It's not all flimsy. So that's good. But as you can see at full lock here, it's super close and has barely any clearance. So we're gonna have to get a wheel with a lower offset, because if you guys didn't know, these aren't my wheels. But that being said, we have a bunch of clearance on this side now, and it's lowered to 10 turns, measurement of probably 1.5 inches, I don't even know. But now that this side's all done, let's go ahead and knock this side out real quick, and we can set her back down on the floor. So we got this side all cut out, just like this side, and lowered. As you can see it a lot better on this one. We were rubbing quite a bit right there, and it actually started to mess up the paint on this side. You can see it started to bubble up. And you can see what I was talking about with the driver's side, where I hit it up, but then it got super wrinkly and all ugly, and I couldn't have that, so I cut it all out. But now we should have no more rubbing problems there. Let's go ahead and put the wheel back on the car and see how much lower it actually got. All right, it's getting really dark out, but we got both sides all cut out and lowered 10 turns. I also went ahead and cut out this fender because with the Blake Olson front fenders, we're gonna have to cut it out anyways. So I just cut it out more so we can see how close we are to the actual frame of the car. So let's go ahead and lower the jack and see how low we get. I'm gonna lower it here. Oh shit! That was kind of scary. Probably should have made sure the car was in park. It is really hard to tell right now because it's in the dark, but it did lower quite a bit, and it's not quite touching the frame yet, which is perfect. That way when you get the smaller tire, it definitely won't touch. I'm gonna go ahead and call it a night for this video. I was gonna go ahead and lower the rears, but it's getting dark, so we'll just continue that in the next video. Again, I apologize to you guys for all the confusion about me selling this car, but this is the video that's guaranteeing you this car is staying. I'm keeping the car. I know I've been going back and forth about this, but as for right now, at least, the car is staying again. So, like I said, we're just gonna make this thing look pretty, get it back to its true glory. So, thank you guys for watching. See you guys in the next one.